I didn't have intentions on making another video. However, much has transpired and I felt compelled. I did indeed. So I don't know if you've been able to watch the movie Mercy. I think it's with Chris Pratt. I think that's his name. Phenomenal acting in it. Like, chef's kiss. It is a amazing movie. I've watched it twice now. I'll most likely watch it a third time because every time I watch it, I pick up on more stuff. And it's so crazy how much in the movie is transpiring in the world today, and how the justice system and how the legal system has taken AI, taken those within power and those within control, and misused it and bent the system for their narrative. And I don't want to give the movie away because you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it, all right? But I just watched it for a second time with my parents. And conversations got a little heavy. It wasn't in regards to the movie. It was in regards to immigration. And yeah, I get it. I gotta learn how to talk. Sometimes I get really spicy and I get feisty, particularly when with people that I've had countless conversations with that just refuse to take any accountability. And they want to gaslight, and they want to divert, and they want to deflect. And I do get feisty and I do get fiery, and it is, I own that. Because I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. I've had so many conversations with people that just refuse, that absolutely refuse. And that's fine. If they want to keep living their lie, they can. But the precipice of the movie is essentially how an innocent man can be accused of something and be charged for something and be taken to their death because all the different facets of the system has worked against them because they want to prove a narrative. They want to prove a narrative. And it's crazy to me because second time around, as people say, feed your delusion. Okay, sure, we can call this whole debacle my delusion or yours or whoever. Whoever wants to feed into it, right? But I feel like we're all living through a delusion, and I think we're all being fed certain different facets of the delusion, depending on what part you play in it. So I guess we can all spin the narrative on the delusion we're being fed, right? And within the movie, there was main characters. All right, and so far, I've counted 5 of them, and they're very big main characters. One of them is Jack. That's my grandfather's name. One of them is Maddox, previous marriage name there. Britt, previous marriage name there. Nicole, my middle name. There was a Ben in there, previous boss name. And again, these are all very similar names. They are indeed. I agree. There's probably no coincidence in there. It's probably just a delusion I'm being fed, right? And I'm okay with that. But it's just the irony of it all. Like, I told my parents before I even watched it with them, which I wasn't going to because I knew it was probably going to get a little heated, because it was an uncomfortable watch to watch with them. I'll be honest with you, it just was. I told them I feel like very, very many parts of my life I've been living in that chair that he's in, proving his innocence, surrounded by a world that created a false reality to prove that he was guilty of things that they did in the dark. And it's like, I mean, again, agree to disagree. Believe me or not believe me, but the reality is reality. The truth is the truth. And you can't bend the truth against anyone, no matter the caliber of a person that you have classified them to be. Okay? And when I say that, I mean in reference to their worthiness and who they are in classification of who you think you are. Like, for example, okay, if you consider yourself a very worthy, powerful individual with a worthy amount of means and a worthy amount of abundance, and you classify yourself here, right? You put yourself here, and then you got somebody here that, for example, is not as worthy as you are, not quite at your level, right? They've lived a harder life, maybe poverty, maybe addictions in the past, maybe not your level of superior that you've classified yourself, right? So you label this person this right here, and then you got yourself here. And so because you're here, you get to play God in this person's life because you've designated your place as God and to be their judge. To be their judge based off what? Your own hearsay, your own facts, your own reality, your own way to bend the truth, your own way to bend the evidence, your own way to bend technology and AI and bots and algorithms and community involvement and all kinds of things, right? You got all these little apples over here, and then you got this person, then you got this person, right? And so you don't think that God is going to see something like this and see the balancing of the scales be a little off. Why? Well, because God sees your heart and God sees their heart. And so when God sees all and he's a part of all, you don't think God's gonna allow certain things to transpire and come to fruition the way that it does to show the hands the way that the hands are being shown? You don't think so? I don't know. I guess that's a conversation you're gonna have to have with God. If you find yourself on the side of the fence playing different positions like that, and if you go back in my videos in the last year and a half, I've made countless videos giving ample amount of warnings, ample amount of insight, ample amount of wisdom, putting out there that you cannot play God in people's life. You cannot play God in this world. And you cannot keep deflecting and projecting and redirecting and blaming the immigrants and blaming the borders and blaming all this as to why you keep putting innocent lives and innocent children's lives at your hands because of everything that you have decided to do while on earth and having to double down to hide it. To hide it. You just can't. And again, agree to disagree. These are my opinions, my beliefs, my story, my reality. And I understand. It is a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard thing to understand. I have a hard time understanding it myself. So if I have a difficult time understanding it, I can only imagine what the world or what the viewer understands, okay? And it is so gut-wrenching to me that I have my own family involved in this whole entire debacle. That is the most gut-wrenching thing that I don't ever think that I will be able to put into words. Okay? People that you came out of their womb and they're supposed to protect you. All the while, they're going against you. And I get it. Same thing with Charlie. The people that he thought would be there to protect him and stand with him went against him. And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But I'll be dang if I let somebody sit here and gaslight me and delusion this and delusion that. Okay, sure. Whatever you say, no problem. We can keep running